Folks. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to AMA with DNK Saturday Night Live Stream. This is the session today is on future of EdTech and education companies in India. What we're going to do today is this is technically the 39th episode. We will be discussing. We will be talking about future of EdTech companies in India today. Right. If you don't know me, my name is Dilnawaz Khan, and I am also the founder of Codesign Labs and Power Deck. If you are joining me on YouTube, right, we are live on both YouTube and Clubhouse. If you are joining me on YouTube, what you need to do is live chat is open. Please make sure you post your comments, post your questions in the live chat, and by the end, I will start picking up your questions. I am open to take any questions around education, edtech. If you are a tech entrepreneur, I'm sure you will derive a lot of value from today's session. And also, if you are in general a startup enthusiast or an entrepreneur, I'm sure this session will give you a lot of value, right? So, a quick introduction. My name is Dilnawaz. I'm the founder of Codesign Labs and Power Deck. This is AMA with DNK. It's my weekly show where I talk about startups, entrepreneurship, and the world of business, things that will help you and I become a better entrepreneur. And of course, as always, I will try and answer to all your questions that are maybe around the topic or otherwise in general as well. So please make sure you use the live chat and you drop all your questions in chat. Quick reminder for everybody, I am also streaming live on YouTube and Clubhouse. If you are here for listening only, please make sure you stay back on Clubhouse and you keep on listening. If you are here and you want to listen to, or rather have a question, if you want to ask question as well, you can basically go onto my Instagram, go onto my link tree bio there, and you can start asking your questions from there, right? So please, if you want to ask questions, come on YouTube, or else you can start. You can be stay on Clubhouse and you can simply listen to me. All right. So what we'll be talking about in today's session. In today's session, we'll be talking about three broad topics. The number one topic I'm going to talk to you about is going to be the overview of tech space in India. We'll be talking about how is the Indian landscape, Indian edtech landscape, how does it look like, what are the critical components, and what are the gap areas. So we'll be looking at the overview of broad Indian edtech landscape, Indian landscape, edtech landscape in India, right? Second, we'll also be talking about the role of technology in disrupting education, right? Whether it is techniques, whether it is tools, whether it is curriculum format and beyond, we will be talking about all of those things, right? And last but not least, we'll also be looking at gaps and opportunities in the existing space. This session is going to be super enriching for all those who want to be entrepreneurs, or maybe all those who are already into edtech space. It will give you a very, very deep perspective. So like always, if you are here already, please make sure folks you like the video and you subscribe to the channel. If you like it, most importantly, YouTube algorithm pushes it and tells more people that this is the content worth watching. So please make sure you like the video and you also subscribe to the channel, right? And also, if you want to stay in touch with me or stay connected, you can go and follow me on Instagram, you can go and follow me on LinkedIn, and all my social media handles are in the description below. If you're listening to me on Clubhouse, you can simply go to my bio. All my credentials or my connecting links are there on Clubhouse as well, right? And just like, let me quickly repeat, if you have any questions, please make sure you use the live chat well and you put all your questions in the live chat. So once again, really, really appreciate all of you for coming here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and let's get started, right? Last point that I want to make, who is this for and what will you gain from today's session? So if you are a edtech entrepreneur, a edtech enthusiast, if you're somebody who's excited in general about the education technology space, this session will give you an idea about what's happening into the edtech space and will give you broader perspective of what's happening in the edtech space. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur, and this is one question, this is one query I keep on getting often, that hey, can you tell me what is the idea we should be working upon? If you are an aspiring entrepreneur, this session will help you in identifying the opportunity in the existing landscape, and maybe you get an idea and you can start building your company as well. And last but not the least, right, this session, if you are a tech entrepreneur, will help you in developing and getting deeper perspective about what's happening in the edtech landscape, right? So three things quickly. If you are an edtech enthusiast, you will get an idea, and I'm sure this will help you out in building your own company or starting your own journey. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur, this will definitely help you in identifying the opportunity. And if you are an edtech entrepreneur, this will help you in gaining deeper perspective, right? So we will start now. I have a lot of people joining me on YouTube. We have Randeep, Mukul, somebody known as Hello Hello, then Shahriar, Ravi, Impact Solutions, and a lot of people joining in. Thank you so much for tuning in here. And let me also quickly address people on Clubhouse. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Abhilash, Hariharan, Faisal, and Divya for joining me. And for questions, go on to YouTube, right? So let's begin with the topic number one. That is overview of edtech space in India. I cannot be more excited, and I cannot be more enthusiastic, or I cannot be more, I can't rather be more happy when I'm sharing this with you, that if you look at the current Indian landscape, the current market size in India is roughly around 700 to 800 million dollar, which is a huge enough market. Let's convert that into INR. Indian edtech market is currently 5126 crores already. That's in INR, and we expected to touch around 30 billion dollar market size in next 10 years. In fact, there are lot of sessions, a few sessions that a few reports I will present in front of you today, wherein you'll also see that this market rather will not become a $30 billion market in next 10 years, but it will become a $10 billion market in just next 5 years. So I cannot give you enough reasons why edtech is such a hot sector. In fact, I don't know how many of you are following this news, but recently, today at 7:16 p.m., 12th of June 2021, this news came out that BYJUs has raised $350 million funding, and has now become one of the most valued Indian startups, right? Let me quickly read this bite for all of you. So BYJU becomes India's most valued startups after $3 million funding. This is from Economic Times. This is last updated news on 12th of June 2021 at 7:16 p.m., right? So you have to be if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you have to be really 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 excited about what's happening in edtech right now. On your screen, if you see now, it's a 10 billion opportunity just in 2025. So we are sitting in 2021. It's a 10 billion opportunity by 2025. It's a 30 billion opportunity in next 10 years. So currently, as on the screen, if you can see, it's a 2.8. Some report says that, as I was saying, some report says that it's a 2.8 billion dollar opportunity, but a lot of other reports are also saying that it is around a 700 to 800 billion dollar opportunity. The broader point is edtech in India right now is roughly around anywhere between uh, uh you know 8 900 billion dollar to like almost like closely a billion to $2 billion opportunity, and in 5 to 10 years it will be a 10 to 30 billion dollar opportunity, right? So huge space. But very one of the reasons I am particularly excited about edtech is super complex to understand, and this is the reason why there are so many opportunities. In fact, if you look at the Indian ecosystem, edtech has not even yet been explored. If you saw my write up on LinkedIn and Facebook today, I was talking about that the success stories like BYJUs and your likes of Vedantu and likes of White Hat Junior and likes of Unacademy and upGrad is only the tip of the iceberg. If you are an edtech entrepreneur, there's so much to done. And I will also in today's episode share a lot of not so obvious opportunities, because recently, technically last Sunday, I got an opportunity to be the part of prestigious National Startup Awards second year in a row as a jury. And the kind of companies I encountered there, I think people are doing some sort of a crazy work in ecosystem. And let me know if you want me to even talk about them. If the time allows, time permits, I can even talk about them as well, right? So the number one reason why edtech is such an exciting space is edtech is super complex, right? You have a very traditional method of existing into edtech, which is B2C, business to consumer. Very simple process. It has been happening from years altogether, right? Then we have B2C, right? Business to business. There's so many enterprise companies already existing in the edtech market. But most importantly, edtech is also B2B2C, right? So edtech is rather primarily one of the major sectors where this model of B2B2C works. And if you are an edtech entrepreneur, let me know in the comments what do you think about it, because this is a big a technical challenge to solve, and rather this is one of the factors why edtech is such a hugely complicated market, right? Now, another thing I want to talk to you is edtech is one of those most complicated spaces where in most of the cases the user is not the customer. Now, I don't know how many of you know what is exactly the difference between a user and a customer, but let me dumb it down for you. Let me tell you the very, very simple difference. A customer is somebody who basically pays to use the service or the product or anything, wherein a user is somebody who uses that. I, in fact, did an entire episode on identifying customers, identifying 100 customers. So if you still are not, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go to my Instagram bio. All the links are there. You can go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, for all those who are listening on Clubhouse, if you have a question, you can also come on YouTube and start asking questions about edtech or anything in general. Just to quickly repeat and reset, this is the part of my weekly Saturday Night Live, 9:15 p.m. AMA with DNK. I'm talking about topic on edtech, and if you have any questions, come on YouTube and you can start asking your questions as well. And there's a presentation video as well, which is running out there, right? So what makes edtech super complicated is user is not customer always, right? And as I said, in most of the cases, the very basic definition of customer is that the customer is somebody who pays, right? And the user is somebody who uses the product. Now, if you go to a pizza shop and maybe you buy the pizza, the simple thing happens that because you paid for the pizza, you become the customer, and therefore whatever feedback you give to the pizza guy, you give that feedback as a customer. Wherein on the other hand, if you are just accompanying a friend and eating the pizza alongside, and if you haven't paid for it, then you are only the user and not technically the customer. It's a very, very dumb example, but I hope it gives you some sort of an idea. Now, if you look at the primary education market, the K-12 education market, or rather technically the college market, in around 90-95% of the students, their education is being sponsored by their parents. It is their parents who pay them to study. So therefore, education is one of the top markets where this complication is there, that the user and customer is different. And it is very, very important for you as a company to figure out and think that who is the user, who is the customer, and how will you use or optimize your product and make it nice to have for both user and customer, right? You have to make sure this happens, right? So you have to optimize the advertisements from the customer's point of view, where you have to make sure the product delivers enough value from the user point of view, right? This is one of the reasons why half of the, or rather 90% of the college students, and so many students at early stage crib so much because their parents think that they want to do engineering but they don't want to do engineering. Their parents think they want to do an MBA but they don't want to do an MBA because the parents are sponsoring, therefore they have to listen to the parents. So if you understand this perspective very, very clearly, you will at least get an idea who the user is and who the customer is, and this will help you in optimizing your entire go-to-market strategy, entire product market fit approach. And again, these are two separate topics, and I can go really, really deep when I talk about this, but this is the most critical factor you have to keep in mind as an edtech entrepreneur, even as an aspiring edtech entrepreneur. You have to keep in mind that the user and customers are not same, and unless you understand this differentiator very, very clearly, it will become really, very, really difficult for you to optimize both your product market fit and go-to-market strategy, right? Now, if you have understood and got the perspective up till now, let's start looking at the Indian landscape or Indian edtech landscape, right? So on your screens, if you see, ladies and gentlemen, what you see is this is the overview of Indian education system in India, right? Now, generally, the education system starts from around 0 to 10, which is basically crèche and pre-primary, and typically goes up to 50 plus. So yes, the edtech market or the education market even caters to people in the 50s, because if you look at the last 3 rows, reskilling, online certification, corporate training, hobbies and language and related learning is a very, very big market. Rather, it's $1 million market, right? If you don't know, so many companies sponsors abroad education for their employees as a part of their upskilling program. So many companies pay their employees to go and get corporate or other executive MBA degrees from prestigious institutes like IIMs, right? So education market in general is really, really high. Now look at this sector, look at this landscape, and this is just the education landscape, and try and get perspective how wide and deep the education market in general is. You can be a part of formal education, so you can build a company in formal education, you can build a company into informal education, you can build something around primary education, secondary, pre-primary, hiring. Then there's a huge market around private coaching, tutoring. Then test prep market is again one of the hottest market. Then you have reskilling, corporate training, hobbies, right? And then to deliver all of this, you have online channel and you have offline channel, right? And then beyond that, it's infrastructure. So you have schools, universities, colleges, training institutes, and then you have entire blended delivery model. And if you have, I'm sure you have heard about this term called hybrid delivery, right? So earlier the education was offline, then it became online, and now hybrid is the new term in this entire space. And everybody has started now talking about hybrid because because of COVID, people can't go to physical institutes, and therefore the hybrid learning model is evolved. So you have blended instructor-led training, you have computer web-based training, you have textbook, self-study material, you have video audio recording, and you have simultaneous based training. It's a I genuinely cannot emphasize enough how big this entire market is, right? I hope this is exciting for you, this is interesting for you. If you want all of these reports, so I've gone through a couple of reports in order to get a deeper insight and prepare for this session. Do let me know in the comments if you want me to give you these reports. I can later on maybe link these reports in the description, or maybe I can mail these reports to you if you need. So let me know in the comments what you think about it, right? So this is basically the Indian edtech landscape, or rather technically only the overview of education in India. Now let's look at how complicated from the delivery model this online education ecosystem is. Now we are only talking about online education, right? So on one side you have content providers. You can be a content creator, you can be a faculty, you can be an institute, you can be a content publisher, you can be a freelancer. In the center you see you have online players who are either content generators, they're curators, they're interface providers. They can be horizontal, they can be vertical. What do you mean by horizontal and vertical? They can either be topic specific, so you can build a company around, let us say, engineering or medical or MBA or whatever, or you can be a horizontal platform like a marketplace. So again, one diagram, or rather compiling all this information in one diagram is really tough because it is so complicated. But if you are seeing it live on the screen, I hope you are getting the idea. And ultimately the idea is to help you find gaps in this space so that you can get started, my friend, right? That is the broad idea, right? So on one side you have content providers. You can also see the categories of content providers. In middle you have online players, they again fit into multiple roles. And on the third side you have consumers. Now even in consumers, you see this K2C startup student, you have K2 to K12 students, you have college students, you have job seekers and working professionals. And now another big sector which has come into the market is mentoring, advisory, book per session kind of a model. I'm currently working with so many edtech companies. So edtech is one of my biggest portfolios, if you don't know, right? I've worked with so many, like hundreds of edtech companies, whether it is for school or college. I built an edtech company myself, right? So if you don't know, this is a very new model where you would bring an expert and maybe charge by module, charge by hour. That is also existing. And at the bottom, if you see this C2C model also, so consumer to consumer model also. And then to enable it, to make it more efficient, you have a platform, you have a marketplace built on top of it, right? So just to add this last point into this entire edtech thing, right? Education is something, skill is something that can always be taught. If you know something, you can always teach it. And this is the reason why content creation is such a hot space. If you're still new to the content space, right? I'm on YouTube, I'm in Clubhouse, I'm making content on all the platforms. If you are still very new to the content space, go and watch my last 3 episodes on YouTube. It was on personal branding, it was on influencer marketing, it was on content creation and podcasting, right? Audio is going to be really big, content is going to be really big, education, edtech, any kind of skill set will be really big. Go to my YouTube channel, the link is in the Instagram bio. Please go and watch those videos. You will be able to understand the C2C model, the consumer to C2C, creator to consumer model, which is going to blow apart and will create a separate industry in coming years, and I can tell you that. Then coming onto the second layer, to get all of this done, you have enablers, you have corporate partnerships, you have co-creation of content partnerships. So there are so many companies who are getting in touch with content creators. In fact, in the last video I spoke about that, whether it is likes of Manoj Vajpayee to Neha Kakkar to maybe Amit, whatever that guy name is, that musician, right? All of these are also now creating content on so many platforms, right? I spoke about this into my last episode. So you have enablers, you have certification providers, you have marketplaces, and last but not least, you have affiliates who are going to build a affiliate model on top of it, so that you can go out there and maybe they can charge a commission fees, right? An affiliate model, any which is going to be a very very big model, or rather a backbone for your entire influencer marketing and entire content creator economy, right? And then at the bottom, of course, you have internet service providers, OEM, and PGs and banks, and I'm not even talking about that, right? So I will give you like another few seconds to kind of absorb all of this information. Meanwhile, in the comments, can you quickly let me know? And if you're listening on Clubhouse, jump onto YouTube if you want to see the presentation that I'm delivering as well. And let me, in fact, rather make my screen bigger. I hope you can now see the screen. Very very clearly. So if you're in Clubhouse, want to see the presentation, come jump on YouTube. If you want to ask a question, come jump on YouTube, or be on Clubhouse. Just keep on listening to what I'm talking about. This is all about EdTech, right? Future of EdTech. And I'm sure you as an entrepreneur will get a lot of perspective from this session, and you will get an idea about what are the opportunities in this space, right? So in the comments, do let me know if you find this exciting. Do let me know if you find this insightful, right? So let me again show you the previous diagram. I'm not sure whether you were able to see that because of the smaller screen, but let me show that diagram to you. All right. And I'll give you some breathing space so that you guys can, yeah. This is the previous diagram. So I hope if you see this previous diagram, I hope you will get some perspective about the overall or overview of education system in India. And if you see the next diagram, and don't worry, the YouTube video will be there, so you can come and even watch it later on, right? So if you see the next diagram, it is all about online education in India, right? Now, to make things more excited for you, and also now to make now to rather give you more insights from the opportunity point of view, look at this another bifurcation of opportunities, and also look at the kind of $1 million invested into each of these opportunities. You have primary and secondary supplement education market as one of the biggest markets. You have test prep market, you have reskilling and online certification market, you have higher education market, and you have language and casual learning market. And look at the number of users in thousands catering to those markets, and look at the number of $1 million invested into that market. So I think I cannot emphasize enough how big is the tech market, and these are all broader points to help you find a gap, help you identify opportunity, right? Quickly, again on your screen, as I said, test prep is a big market, online certification is a big market, K-12 learning, skill development, and last but not least is enterprise solution. A few of the very big and major players on your screens. All of us know BYJUs, upGrad, Class Plus, Vedantu, Unacademy, Coursera, but it is, if you think your edtech idea will not work, I can assure you, no matter what kind of edtech business you want to build, it will be able to generate dhanda and will become $1 million company, if not a unicorn. I can definitely assure you that, because India is such a big market as of right now. And even then, global market is of hundreds of billions of dollars when it comes to edtech space. And going forward, people are bored of Netflix, people are bored of things, right? Trust me, education is something which will excite people. There are around 14-15 people with me on YouTube live. There are around 7-8 people currently in the clubhouse, and average around 20-25 minutes people are listening. If people are willing to look at something new on a Saturday evening, and I can let me add this thing for all of you. Let me quote this thing for all of you. Yesterday I was on Clubhouse, and I realized that we were there till 3 3 a.m. and people were still talking about startups. So I'm sure if you are a real serious entrepreneur, there are enough opportunities in the space, in any space, especially in edtech, food tech, fintech space, that you can definitely build a startup because there's enough market to capture, right? All right, let's move ahead, folks. So on that note, what we will do is now we'll move on to the next slide and we'll again try and get a deeper perspective. So let's see what is the next thing. Okay, so opportunities beyond conventional edtech. Now this is something, why should you know about this, is because all of us have only seen the traditional conventional edtech market, right? We have spoken about BYJUs, we've spoken about Vedantu, we've spoken about all these companies. But and where and let me first tell you am I coming here from, right? So I told you that I was on the jury for National Startup Awards 2021. I was in the edtech panel. If you need that data, I will be more than happy, because that's more or less like a public data. These are public companies. I can connect you with a few of them, and these are the categories, and it is again into public domain. I can assure you, these next spaces, these next opportunities will literally blow your mind for a very simple reason, because this is unconventional, right? So number one, there are enough companies working into the sector of open education. So we already have seen MOOC courses being delivered, right? But open education, affordable education, education for the masses, education around vernacular. Let me repeat: open education, education for masses, affordable education, vernacular education. Really, really, really big market. Forget anything else. If you are able to convert any content from English to Hindi or Punjabi or Marathi or Gujarati, India has got $1 million opportunity just into that content conversion space. Of course, you have to figure out the product market fit, you have to figure out the ideal customer, but there is a very, very, very big opportunity out there. So this is opportunity number one for you, which is access to open education. Opportunity number two, which is access to institutional education. Now, not everybody can access access an institute for education. Not everybody can access a premier institute for education. So therefore, access to institutional education becomes another player, right? So whether in form of content, whether in form of tool, whether in form of technology, whether in form of technique, if you can build anything which connects a potential person to get access to an institution for education, rather get a degree, right? It is another very big gap in the market, right? Third, teacher training. This is another very, very, very big example where people have not started thinking yet. In fact, I'm currently working with a startup which is into teacher training right now. As I said, I have been very, very active into edtech space. So teacher training is a really hot sector, right? You create tools for teachers, you create content for teachers, you train the teachers, you train the teachers for teaching well, you train the teachers to use your tools, you train the teachers to with new pedagogy. There's so much of there's so much of space out there where you can where you can go out and work. So teacher training is third sector. So access to open education, access to institutional training, and teacher training. Then toy as learning resource. Now this should again give you a very interesting perspective. I think in India, from last 6 months or an year after the Prime Minister Modi announced this toy hackathon, technically, so many new toy companies have come into the market where they're utilizing toy to build product for students for effective learning. So toy not only as a playing resource, but toy also as a learning resource, right? So I've seen a few fantastic companies building great products when they're using physical hardware toys, physical hardware product to teach coding to kids who don't have access to internet and laptop and mobile phone and computer. So there are so many gaps where people have been able to identify and fit in toy and tools as a learning resource. So again, and if you and when you build a hardware device, when you build a toy, you always can again train teachers on it or train parents on it. So there's another opportunity out there. And last but not the least is vocational education, right? So skill building, upskilling is definitely a very, very big market, but vocational education also is a very big market. And let me tell you, my friends, upfront here, vocational education in India is still unstructured till now. The government run NSDC, the government runs a couple of programs, the government runs couple of initiatives, but the vocational education is still unorganized. If you can build a structured company wherein you can give people structured access to rather organized access to people for vocational education, upskill them and make them employable and facilitate placements or facilitate jobs, another $1 million opportunity, right? Now, I find funny when people say that, hey, my idea can be stolen. The space is so large, so deep, so wide that not even 100 players but couple of lakhs of players can stay. Wait till the end. I will show you one diagram of the global edtech landscape, and you will be mind blown when you see that, because there are thousands of companies currently existing, and every one of them is a recognized and a big company, right? Okay, so now let's start concluding things by telling you how can you make money, what are the possible business models available, because no matter what you do, you have to build some sort of a business model on top of things. So let's look at what are the business models available. Number one model is, very simply put, content sharing, right? This is a very classical model, can be implemented into B2B, B2C, C2C, or B2B2C. Content sharing, you either create a platform, you create a medium through which content can be shared, and you start charging in terms of percentage or commission or subscription fees or onboarding fees as a platform. So content sharing is a business model or a revenue model for a potential startup. Second is freemium and upgrades, right? A lot of people build these freemium products. You start as a freemium and then you upgrade. You can build your funnel via webinars, you can build your funnel via free sessions, via tripwire products. So in fact there's another I can rather do 1 hour session on how to create a webinar funnel and a tripwire product, and that's a separate topic altogether. And let me know if you are excited about that. I can do a session on that as well. But freemium and upgradation is another business model you can begin with, right? Then of course you have course subscription, right? So you can create a business model where people come and subscribe to the courses. Now the courses, again, let me help in diversifying this for you. The course can be in English, the course can be in Hindi, the course can be diversified or can be in any vernacular language. The course subscription can be per module. The course subscription can be monthly. So you can either build a Coursera or you can build a Udemy. Again, two very successful models, two top companies of edtech in the world, right? So very successful companies, very different model, but very successful. So course subscription is another module. And then the moment you go vernacular, you have unlocked immense potential just around course subscription, right? Then of course paper session, paper module. Now paper session, paper module is very different than course subscription, right? A lot of new emerging edtech companies, what they have done is they've basically, or rather skilling companies, what they've done is they've started providing skills for so many entrepreneurs, professionals out there. So in this case, you can take time from people and pay them per hour. It is more or less like a counseling come mentoring opportunity. So I work with a company called MSMEX as an expert. There's another company which has recently onboarded me called MentorCard. Then you have this company called Growth School. There's another company called Rightways. It's by one of my incubatees. There's another company into similar space. I'm forgetting the name. So there's so much space in here. Again, you can go deep in a sector. You can build a platform sector wise. Maybe you can build for startups, medtech student, edtech student, whatever. You can go wide. You can do anything. And then as I say, you have to identify the opportunity in a paper session module. And the ticket size also varies based on the expert you have. And last but not the least, from the revenue model point of view, is advertising and commission. Build a brand, charge advertising commission, period, right? One of the things, the moment you have critical mass, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, you start getting money. So advertising commission, right? Now, let's summarize everything for today. What are the driving forces for all of this to happen? And this will help you in understand why it is such a big sector, and how and why it will blow apart in the coming years, and why and what are the driving forces. It is very, very important for all of you to also understand what's pushing this entire sector upfront, right? So of course, a few obvious driving forces are: one, India is going under a very, very high internet penetration. After Geo Boost, I think the penetration has gone to a very different level. So very high internet penetration is happening in India right now, right? Second is high growth into smartphones and smartphone penetration, right? We have one of the best and most affordable smartphones out there in the world, and the smartphone penetration is going really, really deep. So therefore, that's another driving factor, right? Third driving factor is increase in disposable personal income, right? So we as people, if you even if you look at your lockdown life, even if you look at your last 1 year of your existence, I'm sure you would have done some sort of a course, whether you would have spent 500 rupees to 5,000 rupees, you would spend some money on upskilling and learning, right? So this has been a significant increase in the disposable income for people, and now people want to invest their money into education and learning and not anything else, right? Then of course the young population adopts technology really, really fast. India is significantly a young country. We have such a huge and large young population, and therefore so many people want to come and adopt tech. And last but not the least, COVID has given a permanent behavioral change to us. It has brought a permanent behavioral change. We are accustomed to technology now. We are accustomed to live. We are accustomed to online education. We are accustomed to anything around tech, and therefore COVID has pushed the future 5 years ahead. And I cannot emphasize it enough. So if you, my friend, are not emphasizing this opportunity, right, especially as an edtech entrepreneur, and trust me, it is super, 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 super easy to get started into edtech is a super thing. The bottom line is, you know something, you can always go and teach that, and that is how you start your edtech journey. I know you will not be able to build a $1 million company on day one. You will not be able to become a unicorn on day one, but I can assure you, if you do it effectively with 3 to 4 years, you will for sure be able to create at least a significant enough company that will help you to survive in the market, and rather create a significant big enough business, right? Now, before I finish the entire session, as I promised, let me give you the broader picture, broader landscape of Indian market and international market. But before I show you those things, let me give you a couple of more pointers that are very, very important for today's session. Number one, this session is currently happening live on YouTube, where I'm showing the presentation, and I am also live with the video. This session is also being broadcasted and streamed on Clubhouse. There are few people who have joined me in Clubhouse just for the audio experience. Thank you so much for all those who have joined in Clubhouse. Thank you so much for all those who have joined in on YouTube. Right now, if you're on Clubhouse and if you want to ask any question, all you have to do is come on YouTube, because I'm only taking questions on YouTube. This session was majorly on future of edtech companies in India. I spoke about broadly any and everything about edtech. If you want to maybe come back later, watch the video, you can come back later. If you have any questions around your startup, pitching, funding, anything in general, or around edtech sector, you can start asking your questions on YouTube. To access the YouTube, all you have to go is, you have to go on my Instagram. If you're on Clubhouse, go to my bio. The Instagram link is there, and the link tree link is there, which will give you access to all the links. Another important announcement is, I am conducting a free pitch deck training and financial modeling workshop on 17th of June. If any of you is interested in attending that workshop, right, all you have to do is go to my Instagram, and in the link in the bio has the link to access that workshop. Go and register for free. It's absolutely free workshop, and I'll be teaching you how to create a pitch deck and how to create a basic financial model. And I'll also be doing the Q&A on fundraising. For all those who do not know me, I'm Dilnawaz. I have been into the space for almost 10-12 years. I built a few edtech companies, and my current portfolio is around edtech, food tech, fintech. I run PowerDeck, which is a company which helps startups in creating pitch decks, and I have helped almost more than 4,000 plus startups in creating pitch decks, and have actively helped more than 500 plus companies as well, right? And I've been also I've been active into Indian startup space from past 10 years, and I've also been on the jury of National Startup Awards 2 years in a row. For all those who are on YouTube, of course, you know me. For all those who are on Clubhouse, maybe if you're new, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you are on Instagram, make sure you subscribe or follow on Instagram. If you're on Clubhouse, please make sure you follow me on Clubhouse so that whenever I do these sessions, you get a notification. All right. So on that note, folks, make sure that you start asking your questions in the live chat, and then what I will do is Seema, I'm posting it for you. Give me a second. Here is in the live chat, you will see the link, and you can register from there. And now let me show you, let me blow your mind, let me show you the landscape of India, right, folks? If you see on the screen, this is the current landscape of EdTech companies in India. Give me a second. Let me remove the banner so that you can see. See this. You have B2B companies around like Educomp, Smart Class, you have Extra Marks, you have Shift2, so many companies there. You have B2, B2C and unbundling companies. Then you have companies in formal education around K-12. You have companies in formal education around college and PG. You have in informal education, you have companies in preschool, K-12, school to college to job, continuous learning. Look at the landscape. If you like this, my friend, make sure you like the video and also give me a thumbs up in the chat. If this should blow your mind, because look at this landscape, and then also look at what are the existing gaps and how can you fulfill that gap. This is very, very important. All those listening on Clubhouse, this presentation is going live on YouTube. Go to Instagram and tap on the first link to join this on YouTube if you want to see the presentation happening. All right. Okay. On people on YouTube, give me a reaction. Vikrant says this is Omnidia network data. Vikrant, I've collected most of the data from the internet, right? And I've given the relevant sources. This is one screen which I don't know. On the top you can see the URL, but I exactly don't have exact data, but this is validated, so don't worry. And last part of the session before I start taking your questions is, this is the global landscape. You have knowledge and content startups, you have education management startups, you have traditional model startups, you have new model startups, experience learning, international education, learning support, assessment and verification, workforce and talent and skill and jobs. And then look at the depth and the breadth of this entire ecosystem. Let me do one thing. Let me give this link to all of you in chat as well, right? So that you can access this later on. Go and look at this and look at the level at which this thing is. Look at the length and the breadth and the depth. And I'm sure you will be able to find a gap, right? All right, folks. So on that note, I will now I'll rather start taking your questions. So on people on Clubhouse, have a question, come on to YouTube. Or if you don't have a question, what we can do is I can simply read the question for you so that you can listen carefully, and then I'll of course start replying, right? So on that note, guys, this is all from my side. I hope you enjoyed the session. You found it useful. Most importantly, that's the reason I do these, right? So I hope you enjoyed the session, and then let me quickly move on to the questions. I'll go in the reverse order. Empatica Solutions says, wow, thank you so much. Fantastic Empatica Solutions. Really appreciate that. Seema asked for the link. The link is in the chat. If any of you want to book the session, you can go on to the link. It's a free webinar I'm doing on 17th of June on pitch deck and financial model and fundraising. Go and attend that webinar. Abhilash G says, thank you. Thank you, Abhilash. And then Mukul has a question. Deepak says, revenue part is my favorite. Of course, Deepak, revenue should be the favorite part for every entrepreneur. And then Sri Hari has a question. Impact Solutions says, huge opportunity. Piyush, happy to join. Thank you so much. And all right. Okay. So let me go on the questions one by one. Hello. It is some channel which says Indian youth must follow like DNK and others. Okay, I really appreciate that. I know a lot of people have been complaining that I have less audience, but I really don't crib about it, because I'm really happy, because if you guys join in, there are 20 people, 25 people here wanting to learn at 10 p.m. night on a Saturday, I think this gives me a lot of pleasure. So I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you. If you're here and if you're listening, I think that gives me immense pleasure, and I'm really happy you were able to join. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Mukul. Excited for the session. Thank you so much. Randeep says you watched me on DD. Yes, I have been also on Startup Champions as a part of DD, right? Okay, Piyush has a question. If we want to start e-commerce MVP based on cash on delivery, then we need a proprietor registration. Anything else? Okay, so Piyush, technically, proprietorship registration should work for you if you want to start any kind of business. Any business will help you in. Sorry. You can start any business just by the proprietor registration. So I don't think there's any trouble. You can go with any sort of a registration, or you can even do an MVP without any registration. But yes, proprietor will work. That's the bare minimum requirement. So for any kind of a business wherein you think you need a cash on delivery, you need a bank account, you need some sort of a legal transaction to be done. Yes, proprietor registration is the bare minimum. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Piyush. Next is Srihari. I am a BTech CSC student from Kerala first year. I have I have an EdTech startup idea, but I don't know what I should do next. I don't have any mentor to check whether my idea is good or not. Can you help me? So Srihari, let me give you like a very fair advice when it comes to building a EdTech company. For EdTech, of course, you need a mentor, but mentor is not primary. The primary thing is you should be reaching out to your potential customer and asking them whether this idea will work or not. Right? For example, I'll give an example. So you say that you have an EdTech idea. I'm assuming you are a CSC student, so you want to teach people coding. Let's take that as an example. So if you want to teach people how to code, the idea is you should be reaching out to your potential customer whom you want to teach, and to these people then you should be asking, hey, this is my curriculum, this is my course, would you be interested in buying the product, this is the value I deliver, these are xyz reasons why my product is better than the competitors, right? These people will be able to give you a very fair answer, very fair response in terms of whether the product will work or not. Then of course, because you have mentioned the mentor thing, yes, get a mentor, but the ideal mentor is somebody who has built a startup into that category. I'll give you an example. One of my edtech companies, or rather the edtech company that I built, was into college education for engineering students. I was teaching coding back in 2013, right? Now if somebody comes to me and asks me that, hey Dilnawaz, can you be my mentor? I'm building a company for school kids. I am not a correct mentor. I'm not a right mentor, because the logic is, the idea is, I haven't dealt with schools ever. So not everybody who looks like a Gyani on internet is not a mentor. Please make sure, guys, you do not fall in the trap of getting a mentor just because that person looks like a credible person to you, right? I personally believe, for example, I have a background into EdTech, I have a background to tech, I have a background to design, so I have a limited knowledge and limited understanding. Please make sure you do your due diligence, you make sure you validate the mentor, make sure you talk to the mentor, spend some time and figure out whether that guy is a right person for you, not or for you or not. And the best mentor is somebody who has built the company into that space, and that is the right mentor for you. And of course, if you want deeper understanding on it, on my YouTube channel, I've done a detailed video. Rather, let me open the channel and let me show you. I've done a detailed video on how to get a mentor, or rather how what is the process of even getting a correct mentor, right? Let me share my screen. Give me a second, folks. Sorry to put you on hold, but I think this will help a lot of people. So let me quickly mention it upfront. Give me a second. Okay, so this is episode number 21. If you can see on my screen, episode number 21. This is the one. Everything about startup mentoring. Go and watch this. This will help you in getting the right mentor. The second question you're saying is, or can you tell me what to do next? Validation. Create. Okay. Create all those who are into idea stage. Create a one pager. अपने कंपनी, अपने स्टार्टअप का वन पेजर डॉक्यूमेंट बनाओ. वन पेजर क्या होता है? Go to Google, write startup one pager. It is one pager document which talks about the problem, the solution, the competitive advantage, and very, very basic information. When you send to somebody will be able to get an idea about the kind of company you're trying to build, right? So it is a one pager. takes 5 minutes to read and gives a broader perspective to anybody. So anybody who's in idea stage, ideally edtech, non-edtech, any sector, should be create one pager. If you're into validation stage, if you are into post validation stage, go and create a pitch deck and then present it to people, right? So go and validate around your customers and maybe get a mentor, right? Sri Hari, I hope that answers your question. Then comes Mukul's question. Mukul has a question and he says, how do you see the YouTube as learning platform? Do I really need to pay course provider companies if I'm already getting everything free from YouTube? Fantastic question, Mukul. In fact, this is one question that a lot of people ask me, or other ask a lot of people, that why should we pay when everything is on the internet? You need to understand, you never ever pay for content and course in 2021. Rather, you don't have to pay for anything. Ultimately, as a human being, the only limited asset we have is time, right? And every time you take a decision, you have to do a time trade-off. So you have to figure out whether can you pay something to somebody and can you save time. So if you are a young guy, if you don't have access to money, if you don't have money, the idea is look for content on YouTube, go through hundreds of videos, go scout content for yourself, look at things yourself, explore. So spend time by not spending money. But if you think you are in crunch of time, therefore you don't want to scout hundreds of YouTube videos, you don't want to get into the hassle of organizing content, arranging content, then you should definitely hire somebody and pay them. I always say, you never ever pay for content, you pay for organized structured content. You basically, what you're paying is for discipline, right? All of you can lose weight by running in the morning, eating less, but the reason why you pay to a dietitian, or the reason why you pay to a coach, is to put you consistent and keep you disciplined. That is the reason why you pay somebody, right? So you always pay people when you have to put them on the consistency benchmark or have to keep them disciplined, right? That is only when you pay. So if you think you can find everything on YouTube, learn everything on YouTube, don't even pay a single penny to anybody. If you think you don't have time, you will get confused, you will not be able to figure out whether it's right or not, go and hire somebody and pay them, right? All right. Next question from Seema. Guys, we are already at a 55-minute mark. We'll try and close this at a 60-minute mark. The room will, with this video, will not go beyond 60 minutes max. So if you're still here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you're on Clubhouse, want to ask a question, come onto YouTube via Instagram bio link. All right. Seema has a question. Is there any session where I can learn about pitch deck? Seema, I'm doing a session on 17th of June. It's a free session on how to create a pitch deck and fundraising fundamentals. The session link is in my Instagram bio. Please go and fill that, sign up for the session. I will be teaching you how to create a pitch deck, and I'll be giving you a couple of resources as well, right? And the link is already in the live chat. If you want to have a look, please make sure you have a look. Oh, so many questions, guys. Thank you so much. All right, folks. Gautam says, hey, love listening to you and your advice on Clubhouse. Thank you, Gautam. Really appreciate that. So nice of you. And thank you so much for coming here and dropping your comment. I really appreciate that. Srini says, very useful session. Vasan, Melbourne. Thank you so much, Srini. Really appreciate that. I'm so happy and so glad that all of you people came here. Your view on live one-to-one edtech execution model. Gautam, fantastic question. So see, going ahead, one-on-one edtech model is going to blow apart, right? I'll give you an example. The just the way you pay a doctor for one-on-one consultation, this model will be the future in edtech for one-on-one. I'll give an example. I do this session every Saturday 9:15 p.m. on my YouTube channel, and the idea is, if any of you have any question, come and ask me, and in return I will give you my insights and learnings, and I'll share my insights about a particular topic. So you come, learn for first half an hour, gather insights, become more wise, and also take an answer to your question. Now, if you do not have time to come on a Saturday evening or Saturday night, or if you do not join my open sessions on Clubhouse, then the simple logic is you pay me to give you my time exclusively, right? And I do one-on-one mentoring, one-on-one consultations and sessions as well, which are absolutely which are absolutely paid. So what I do on YouTube is free. What I do one-on-one is paid. So answering Gautam's question, one-on-one edtech education, edtech model, execution model, counseling model, consultation model will blow apart. It's not yet relevant in India. It hasn't blown apart yet, because for a very simple reason, इंडिया में ज्ञान फ्री मिलता है, and it is a absolute wrong and bullshit notion that people have. Going ahead, experts will not give time for free, and trust me on that. Trust me on that. So this will blow apart. Gautam, if you're trying to build a company around it, congratulations, kudos to you. I'm sure this will be the next big thing. Empatica solution has a question. What do you think after pandemic for K-12 education segment as school will be open? See, impact solution, schools will not open entirely. Schools will definitely go on hybrid model. I act as an advisor to a couple of education institutes, primary colleges and universities, and what I'm seeing and learning from them is they don't want to go on to 100% offline model. It will be rather difficult for another 1.5 year to go 100% offline. But and in that period, people primarily will want to go hybrid. See, there's a beauty of hybrid. Imagine if pandemic would not have happened, I and so many people like me would not have started a YouTube channel. I and so many people like me would not have become active in Clubhouse. I and so many people like me would not have given their time for free and would not have used Zoom and YouTube as a resource to give education, right? For a very simple reason that in natural way of our thing, we were stuck. I was traveling 3-4 days a week to deliver sessions. Imagine the time I'm able to save now. I'm not doing so technically. It is not the waste of time when I do these sessions. I hope आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या बोलना चाह रहा हूँ. I hope you're getting. Earlier I was traveling 3-4 days a week. मैं 4 दिन ऑफिस से बाहर रहता था, मैं ट्रैवल करता था, मैं I was wasting my time traveling, wasting my time logistics. वो मेरा सारा टाइम बच गया है. When that time I've been able to save, I'm just using that time to give back to people. So therefore hybrid model के कारण क्या हुआ है, one thing which has beautifully happened is that people have learned how to save cost, people have adapted the technology, and I'm sure going ahead K-12 will also have hybrid model inbuilt, right? I'm sure even from the cost optimization point of view, schools and colleges will not go 100% offline because offline coaching is a very, very, very big expense, right? So it will be very, very difficult. Okay. Srini has a question. How do you ensure security? Srini, I'm assuming you are asking about, or I don't know what security you're talking about. Can you elaborate what security are you talking about? Okay. So many questions. Okay. So Mukul's question is the last question. Gautam ST question is the last question. I'll not take anymore because we've already touched 1 hour mark. And Irfan. Hi Dilnawaz, we started destination wedding startup with limited resources. We'll launch it. Now we're stuck due to pandemic. Now we're filing hard copy. I need a good pitch. So Irfan, if you need help with pitch or pitch deck, I have already posted the link for my live workshop happening on 17th. The link is in the live chat. Please make sure you go, or you can also go to my Instagram. On my Instagram, there's a session to book the free pitching workshop slot. Please make sure you attend that, and I'm sure you will be able to take a lot of value into that session. To please book the session. All right. I can assure you, you will get a lot of resources and learning in that session. Next is Piyush. Sir, I get information for proprietorship. We don't have special bank account. We can use own bank account. See, Piyush, for proprietorship, see, in case of proprietorship business, you by default are the company and the owner. Therefore, yes, I think you can use your own bank account. But this is a compliance question. Cross-check this with your chartered accountant. But I sure as far as what I know, you can definitely use your own account as a proprietorship. As a proprietor, you can use your own account for billing. All right. Abhilash has a question. Do you think concepts like total learning architecture or similar international standards are relevant in Indian EdTech ecosystem? Abhilash, if I have to answer you very, very honestly, I don't have any idea or a very, very deeper idea about total learning architecture. I'll be more than happy to have a look and get back to you. What you can do is you can write me an email, or maybe you can DM me on Instagram. I'll share my email ID with you there, and maybe we can have a detailed discussion. I would rather love to have a look at what do you mean by total learning architecture. It's a new term. I haven't heard about it. I would really admit that I don't know about this particular thing. So I will have to look at this, and only then I can tell you whether it will work in India or not. The only thing I know is India is a growing market, and looking at the cultural diversity, looking at the language diversity, looking at such a very varied landscape. I can assure you any model today will work in India, right? Mac says, amazing session. Finally find something worth watching. Mac, thank you so much. I really appreciate, guys. I really like these comments when you really genuinely, write this. Rather, thank you for finding me. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming and commenting. Thank you for being here. Thank you for attending. I can't really tell you. I can't really tell you how humbled and how honored I am when I get such comments from you guys. So really appreciate that. All right. Last question from Mukul ST. Srini, when you say IT security, content security, can you elaborate much more onto that? I don't know what you mean by IT security, content security. See, content security is protected by the copyright. If you produce something, you by default have a copyright. If somebody is going to steal it, you can go after them as per the copyright law. From the IT security point of view, you have to uh, tackle it via your IT infrastructure, right? But again, these are just terms. I really need to have deeper insights, and I really need to figure out what exactly you're looking for. So on that note, let me take the last question from Gautam, and then we'll wrap session for today. Gautam has a follow-up question. Gautam says, but do you feel quality can be maintained or live one-on-one, especially when you decide to cater a mass, especially with quality issue in companies like White Hat Junior? So Gotham, technically, Whitehead Junior is not one-on-one. As far as what I know, they give a demo on a one-on-one model, but they generally do a batch kind of a thing. Again, I still have to figure it out. I still have to look deeper into it. Maybe you can maybe you can send me some sort of white paper, DM in Insta. I'll give you my email. Send me more information. I can sit myself. I can look at it and I can get back to you. But yes, when you say quality, see, the quality is a very subjective term. Whether this video has good quality or not, I don't know. It is good enough for my audience. My audience gets value. The quality is done, right? So quality is a very open-ended thing, and it absolutely depends on the what the user is looking for. So if you are able to deliver the basic expectations or if the required expectations or the basic expectations are met, I think the quality is out of the window. So quality is a very quality basically is an excuse you procrastinate things. So I think if your mentor, if your counselor, if the person who's delivering is able to deliver enough value to the person who has booked the session, I think that is the bare minimum expectation from the platform side, right? All right, last question from Rishikesh, because it is very very important. So Rishikesh says, when do you come live? Any particular schedule? Right? Yes, absolutely, guys. I come live every Saturday 9:15 p.m. on my YouTube channel. I'm also live on Clubhouse right now, and majorly I keep on sitting on Clubhouse around. I spend around 4 to 5 hours every day meeting like-minded people, running multiple rooms. So go and also follow me in Clubhouse if you haven't done so. All those listening on Clubhouse, please make sure you subscribe to the Clubhouse, you follow me in Clubhouse, and you also make sure you follow on other social media channels as well. Thank you, Srini. Really appreciate that. It's 2:50 in Melbourne. Thank you so much. So when do I come live? I go live on YouTube every Saturday 9:15 p.m. This is my weekly show called AMA with DNK. I come live. I talk about one particular topic. I believe that this topic should be, uh, if not give you enough knowledge, should be able to give you certain insights, should be able to give you certain information, should be able to give you certain awareness, and most importantly, should be able to sensitize you towards a particular topic or a sector or an idea, so that you as an entrepreneur can start, about thinking, right? So this is my schedule on YouTube. So YouTube currently I'm doing every Saturday 9:15 p.m. I'm doing one session. I'm also hosting two sessions on Clubhouse every Tuesday and Friday at 8:15, which is called Selling Shamelessly. This session, what we do is we try and promote and help people to network and sell their products. Generally, and people on YouTube, let me know if you also think like this. Generally, entrepreneurs are discouraged from selling, or people are afraid of selling. But if you are an entrepreneur, sales is the most essential critical part of your life. If you can't sell yourself, then I don't know who the hell will sell your product, right? And of course, the founder's conviction has to be the most when it comes to sales, right? So we do this sales room on Clubhouse every Tuesday and Friday at 8:15 p.m. And then, of course, I'm currently planning to do more sessions. I'm also starting, couple of other sessions. I'm very soon starting a podcast. So please, 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 it will mean a lot to me if you can go and follow me on all the social media platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, all the links are in the description. If you are on Instagram, the link has all the links. If you are in Clubhouse, my bio has all the relevant links, right? Perfect. On that note, this is the time to say thank you. This is the time to say good night. This is time to wrap the session. So once again, folks, thank you so much for joining me today evening, today night. I'm Dilnawaz. I'm the founder of Codesign Labs and PowerDeck. I really appreciate you giving your time. I really appreciate you showing up and asking questions. The audience is what makes this session work, right? I'm just the mod. I'm just the moderator. I'm just the person who's speaking. But you are the one who come and make this happen, right? So thank you so much for tuning in for AMA with DNK Saturday night live stream. I do this every Saturday 9:15 p.m. on YouTube and Clubhouse, and the YouTube video will be there. So make sure you like the video, subscribe the channel, follow me in Insta, follow me in Clubhouse. And that's it. I will see you in some another room on Clubhouse. So make sure you follow me and you get so that you can get the notification, because I'll be jumping here and there. Now I might be in a pitch room somewhere. So come and find me. On that note, thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Please take care of yourself. I will see you next Saturday on MVDNK episode number 40. And one more quick announcement. With the episode number 42, I'm finishing 1 year of my official YouTube journey. There'll be a special announcement. There'll be a special show that day. And I might invite a few of you to join me on live on Zoom, and we'll broadcast that. So if you are interested, quickly DM me happy anniversary on Instagram so that I know you're interested, and I'll ask my team to get in touch with all of you, and I will pull you up on Zoom on Saturday Night Live on Saturday, 3rd or 4th of June. I don't know what the exact date would be. It should be 3rd of July. And on 3rd of July, I finish officially 1 year of my YouTube lives. Technically 1 year of being a YouTuber, if I can say so, right? So on that note, DM me on Instagram. I will get in touch with you. And thank you so much for showing up. See you. Take care. And God bless. Stay blessed. Take care. Bye-bye.